Hey traders and investors, it is Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. Today is Friday, February 5th. Hope everyone's having a great Friday so far and hope everyone has a great weekend. It was a long week and I'm looking forward to having some time off. So in today's video, we're going to discuss BlackBerry stock and a trade review that I made today. And we'll look at what we can expect into next week. We'll look at the overall broader market. There wasn't really much in terms of news, so we will kind of skip that for today. But make sure to smash a like and subscribe to the channel. It shows me some support. So just being cautious here of a potential daily bear flag when we do bounce. We could bounce as far as, say, $17 or $18 here to the 0.382 FEB and still be a possible daily bear flag. So if this is all the bounce that we can muster up, it's not looking good, but the daily close was very, very strong. We did break the inside bars bullish and we have a lower wick here on the weekly candle. So bulls bought the dip and saved the weekly candle there into the end of the week. So again, we had an inside bar here that broke bullish, double inside bar it looks like, and it was tightening up. And as soon as we broke 1243 today, I entered that position. So I was looking at the beginning of the day today when we opened, let's put on extended hours here. So at the beginning of the day, I was looking for a flush of $12 and we had support at 1184 and 1192. So what my plan was, when we seen SPY gapping up, QQQ gapping up, and GME had basically, or Robinhood had said they were basically going to lift the restrictions on GME, I knew that I was already late to that party, so I'd already missed the move on GME. But then I saw BlackBerry about to break its daily inside bar, and it was very correlated to GME. So these shorted and high flying stocks. So I was waiting for a flush of $12. We got the flush of $12, and then we bounced up hard as soon as we broke over 1242 resistance, and 1243 was the inside bar. We broke outside of the daily inside bar. I entered at 1242, sold at 1290, and we were 5-minute overbought at that point. And I sold my position at 1290, reloaded cheaper at about 1240, set my stop below 1224 just to give me some wiggle room. And I was looking for a bounce off EMA 26 at the very least. So I put it down to, and we had EMA 26 right around the 1232. So in 1230, so I put my stop under 1224, and then we started to bounce, and then we pulled back again. So I entered about 800 shares this first trade, and then at 1240, I entered about 250 shares, and then we bounced, and then we came back down to a new low. I re-entered double down 250, so I had 500 at this point, stopped still below 1224, didn't get stopped out, sold 250 here, just above 13, looking for a $13 rejection. We also had 1294 as a potential double top and top fish, and sold that last position, the 250, and was riding 250. And then when we got over 13, we also had the EMAs to be looking at on the daily time frame. I'll just take off this here. So we had the EMA there at 1348. So I knew to be expecting a potential top there. So I exited the second half of that 250 on a 1350 break. And then I was out after that. Then we confirmed a 5-minute downtrend. Then into the end of the day, we confirmed a 5-minute uptrend. So it looks like the daily bounce may still continue into next week. We did start hourly consolidation, but it's just an hourly bull flag at this point, and we need to lose the hourly uptrend. And at this point, there's no sign of any slowing down for the bulls. So we're just going to expect a lower high compared to $28, but crazy gains to be had if we do go up to the recent highs. That's over 100% away. So we'll look for a loss of the hourly uptrend to be confident that the daily lower high is set. But moving on, daily RSI was completely cooled off. Let's take a look at the weekly RSI. So it is cooling down, but we were consolidating on the weekly, so we need to change the daily trend as well to be confident that that weekly high or low is set. So bulls hoping for a big of a bounce as possible here so that they can come up and see this type of move here where we set a lower high, higher low, higher high, and confirm that daily uptrend once again. So we'll move on. Just here in the end of the day, we did have a little bit of bear volume, but not really much follow through, and holding the 5-minute higher lows, EMA 12 intact as well. So it's the end of the week. We'll take a look at the weekly chart. So we do have the 10-week moving average down at 961 and $10 psychological. The old previous high here from back on the Amazon news partnership was 969. And then we formed a perfect higher low off the 10-week moving average. That was just an absolute monstrous and perfect entry. We are trending lower here on the stochastic. So we have 1 out of our 3 macro indicators turn bearish on us, but we want to see all 3 to be very convinced that we're going to be heading downwards in the next few weeks. On the weekly moving averages, we are so well above the 50, 100, and the 200 weekly. MACD is going into orbit, and we could be potentially seeing a cross here of the 50 and the 100, which would be bullish. But just looking for weekly higher lows, and that was a nasty reversal candle here last week. And bulls trying to save it with the lower wick this week. On the daily moving averages, we're well above the 50-day moving average. So again, down at 948. So a lot of support around the $9.50, $10 area. The MACD is bearish on the daily time frame. And I want to show you this VWAP here. We closed right above that VWAP here on the weekly. So bulls definitely saved it here into the end of the week. And we had a bull cross here of the 20 and 50 weekly moving averages, which gave us an early signal. And then when we came back down, we lost the VWAP, but we held that and ultimately continuing the weekly uptrend. And then on the daily time frame, you can see here we're topping out at the VWAP. So we'll want to get over that level going into Monday. So 13, if we get over, say 1365, 1370, that will be a good sign. So we'll power through this here today. DFLY, GME, NEXE, DDD, also leading the way up. Zoom had a great day, up over 7%. So honorable mentions there as well. On the bear list, we had JMIA, Dash, AMC, NKLA. And just take a quick look here. AMC was down over 3%, down to 683. GME closed at $63, up 18%. But I just want to show you this trade here this morning. Support at $49.85 and $50 psychological. We knew that we were getting extreme on the hourly time frame. We were hourly oversold. And to begin the morning, if you would have entered off $50 psychological support, we also had $49.85 as a support level to be going off of. But even $50, nice round psychological number, set your stop under 50. And huge bounce. I think it was 40%. Just let me see here. Not sure why my mouse isn't working. Bear with me here. I broke my hand, so I'm doing this with my left hand. But we were up 80, almost 100%, over 80% in like 30 minutes. So that was an absolute crazy, crazy move. And I was late to that party. And once we had already broken the high of pre-market, I wasn't comfortable entering. And I would have been very, very comfortable entering with a stop below 50. And that would have been a month maker, maybe even a 6-month maker at that point. But man, congrats to the bulls who bought that dip this morning. We even had a little bit of a lower wick there on that 5-minute candle. And that was the go signal. As soon as we broke the high of that previous candle, held 50, it was off to the races after that. So SPY, all-time high weekly close. New all-time high on the weekly candle. We dipped down to EMA 12, but ultimately held it. We had a higher low as well at 368.27 that held. So no red flags, bulls in full control. We're going to need to lose the daily uptrend at the very least. Actually, we didn't confirm a daily uptrend. My apologies. We're gonna have to lose the hourly uptrend at the very least for the bulls to even show any sign of weakness. But you can see here, we haven't lost the low of the previous daily candle now in 6 days. So as soon as we lose the low of the previous daily candle, that's going to be notable. So the low of today down at 386.14. If we lose that on Monday, that's going to be extremely notable and daily consolidation will be underway. And if we lose the hourly uptrend, obviously daily consolidation will be well underway. Hourly EMA is going to be a nice visual guide, which it held all day long. So nice visual guide going into next week. DXY seeing a lot of weakness, or like the last 10 hours, we've been a lower high every candle. So we will anticipate a bounce here at some point, but it's just going to be a lower high compared to 91.50 and potentially an equilibrium. So we could see something similar to this and a tightening range, and then either a break to the downside or the upside. That has yet to be seen. So we are pulling back. We are holding 91. It's a possible daily bull flag at this point, so don't lose sight of this. But 2 hours and 45 minutes left. Bulls want to try and buy the dip here as much as possible, get a lower wick, and increase the odds of those daily bull flags playing out. And again, they want to get as big of a bounce as possible on the daily time frame, so that when we do top out, maybe here at EMA 26 or just above, we can form a higher low on the weekly and a higher high to change the weekly trend, which would be the first time since all the way back here over 102. So that'd be a significant momentum shift. And we are seeing a little bit of bullish RSI divergence. The RSI was touching down on oversold, but it's been trending higher with higher lows, while the price has been going to lower lows and lower highs. So we'll see if we can close the week out above EMA 12 there on the weekly. That would be extremely bullish. Other than that, silver seeing a bit of a bounce here into the end of the day, up almost 2%. And we did break the inside bar bullish, but we are pulling back. So we're trying to get the daily bounce underway. We need to change the 4-hour trend back to the bulls. And you can say that we did here with a little mini higher low and higher high. Not a very big pullback or enough of a pivot. But if you wanted to consider that a trend change, I wouldn't argue with you. 4-hour inside bar on watch at the moment as well, and a potential EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on that as well. HC, so VIX was down over 3%. We'll just take a quick look. So VIX just been straight pullback for the last couple of days. And on that daily chart, we could see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. Support at 2109 was lost, closed below it. After that, 1951. But huge spike up and a huge dump on the volatility index. Taking a look at the bull list. So XBI biosector up almost 2.5% today. CNBC was pumping it, I believe, yesterday. But bulls in full control of the biotech sector at the moment. Lack of support on the hourly though. But EMA 12 has been a nice visual guide and will continue to be a nice visual guide for most names going into Monday. So that's going to do it for today's video. Hope everyone has a great weekend. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth for another daily market recap. Make sure to hit the like, subscribe to the channel. It shows me some support, and we'll see you a little bit later on for a cannabis sector review.